presiding officer over today's ceremony is Captain Matthew Anderson. That's it. Is that part right, Scott?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's here, friends, family, friends from all over the world, welcome. Good to have all of you here today. It's a wonderful opportunity to celebrate the Reichel family and all the great hard work they've done, as well as the things they're going to go forth and do in the future. So it's been a wonderful thing for me because I've known Stephen in America for about 2 years. Like one of the first couple of weeks that I was here, we had spent a weekend as a whole bunch of folks went down and did a float trips. We had a great chance to chat there, and then several other social events. So the good news is sometimes when you do promotions, you may or may not know the person to whom you're promoting. Fortunately for me, we've had a long relationship for the last 2 years, so I'm very excited about that. All right, so for those of you that may be at home and haven't done a whole lot of these before, the basic agenda is like this. I stand up and say a bunch of really nice things. We come up, we get folks put on pins and medals and all sorts of really great, wonderful things. And then we do the oath, and then Stephen says how important everybody is that phoned in and that is standing here is for them. So that's kind of how this thing is going to work, so we'll be able to move quickly through this. It is a beautiful day here. How hot is it? 80 degrees, 85?
It's got to be 85 degrees.
85 degrees, which is really, really hot for Germany.
Yeah.
We're all dressed up like this. Everybody behind us is wearing shorts. You can't see it, except for America. She's looking splendid this evening. So, God bless her. But then we will be changing clothes and taking care of all this great, amazing, wonderful food. And I've been told that there's adult beverage back behind where we can't see it for video performances. So I just wanted to know about that. Okay, so a couple things I think are important to know. One, if somebody once told to me that whatever it is you choose to do with your life for work, which we do quite a bit of, you really have a choice to make between three things. You're either going to work a 40-hour week, a 50-hour week, or a 60-plus hour week, and you need to make the best decision it's going to be for you. A job is 40 hours a week. A career is 50. A calling is 60 hours or more, plus deployments. If you are going to be successful in the United States military, especially as an officer, you're working 50 to 60 hours a week. And that's just what it takes in order to promote, in order to be able to keep moving up in what you want to do, and the sacrifices you have to make with friends, family, and things you can't be there for. And that is just the way it is, because it is a competitive environment that we're working in. We've got a lot of really great, talented people that are working, and they all want to promote and they all want to do well, but we have to make tough decisions and decide who those folks are going to be that are going to promote. So this is a big deal, making 05 in the United States military. It's a big deal. It takes a lot of years to be able to get here, and we expect great things to come afterwards. No doubt about that. Another thing I'd like to explain is how getting promoted is a lot like going to a youth YMCA kids swim practice. I promise this will make sense to you. So a year or two ago, I go to a swim practice for my kids. I didn't make a whole lot of them, but I've made a few. And they've got like 6 lanes all lined up. And at one end, they've got like the new kids. They're still trying to figure it out. And they've got lanes going up. And mostly it's the kids at the far end are bigger, stronger, faster, and they've been doing this for years. And you got the kids in the beginner lane over here. So my kids were both kind of new to swimming. One was in the first lane, other was in the second. So someone was like, hey, I want to be in the second lane with my sister because I'm about as good as her. But he was kind of milling around in this other pool, and he could swim down to the end and beat a couple kids and catch his breath, and then he'd swim back, and he did that a few times. Eventually the coach was like, all right, move up. So he moves up a lane, moves to the left. Gets in this lane, he sprints out there, and if you touch somebody's feet, they kind of like pull over for 3 seconds, and then they start swimming again. And he like taps 2 kids, goes down the far end line, gets to the wall, grabs the wall, catches his breath. These other kids come up, they hit the flip turn. They go right on back. He gets back to the end of the line, he's in the exact same place he was. He realized, wait a minute, everybody in this lane can swim faster, and they don't rest on the wall, and they can all do flip turns? Well, yes, they can. You move over a lane, kids get faster, kids get more skilled. Move up another lane to the other one. Now they're not swimming 25s, they're swimming 50s. They're swimming 100s. They're not just swimming freestyle, they're swimming backstroke. Move up another lane, they can do backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke. Move up again, now they're swimming 1 lap down, 1 lap down, 1 lap down. They're not stopping, they're swimming 100s instead of 25s or 50s. Go up another lane, they're swimming 200s. You go, wow, those guys got a lot of skills. They do things really well. And here's the things you don't see when you get up to the other end. They're also coming in half an hour early, stretching, doing body workouts, and doing some running. So they're doing the workouts in the pool, plus they're doing other stuff. And then once you get even farther up, when you have meets, they're the kind of the adults that are like showing all the little kids where they're supposed to go. No, this is how you go to the meet. This is how you organize. All right, here we go. First time I've ever been on a platform. This is how we do this, because all the kids at the other end of the pool are like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't know what's going on. Very much like that. So as I'm watching this practice progress and different kids are moving on, this is a lot like being in the military. And every time you promote, you get to duck under the rope. You get to go in the next lane. You duck under the rope, you get to go to the next lane. And so you may be great in your lane, when we duck you under the rope and fleet you up to the next one, the skill sets that you had previously are important, but they're not necessarily the ones that are going to make you good to great in the next lane that we move you up to. They're working harder. They've got a whole bunch of new different skills. They're putting in time before, they're putting in time after, and they're looking back to the kids that are junior to them and making sure they're pulling those kids along and training them to do all these sorts of things. So, as we celebrate this opportunity for you to be promoted, the more important things that you're going to be able to do in the Air Force, it's also important to know that as you move up, more things are expected. The performance level of everybody in that lane that's been there for several years, they're all going to be pretty good too. They've all got new skills. In order for you to be successful there, you have to keep doing what you've been doing. A little extra work before, a little extra work after, and making sure you're reaching down and pulling up the kids behind you to make sure they got a chance to succeed just as you have so far. Make sense? Yes, sir. All right. Those are my official comments.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Major Stephen Reichel. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Stephen Lowell Reichel is promoted to the grade of Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force, effective the 18th day of June, 2021, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force.
Now the next thing, America's going to come up. Yep, love that. You got it, you practiced.
Captain Anderson will now administer the oath of office.
I state your full name.
I, Stephen Lowell Reichel,
Having been appointed Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
That I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office into which I'm about to enter.
the duties of the office into which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
All right, keep the announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Lowell Reichel.
Hoorah!
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for coming out here. I know it's a hot day, and they sprung a surprise on us right at the last minute, making today a federal holiday. So we're not just celebrating my promotion today. We're also celebrating the end of slavery. So I can't believe that it could possibly be more momentous than that. Mostly because of the slavery. Anyway, sometimes thank you, sir. Thanks everyone here. Dial in. Really happy to be here. Really happy to be here with my wife. I wouldn't have made it here, obviously, without all of the support from friends, family, colleagues, professional support, and I really appreciate all that everyone's done for me. Sometimes, junior officers will ask some of our senior officers. I know that most of the folks in this group, we've got a whole bunch of stealth colonels. They don't need any words of wisdom from me, but sometimes the junior officers will ask us, what's the recipe for making a promotion? And other than, do your professional military education, I probably don't have much to add, but my own personal philosophy has been, have a good work ethic, have a positive attitude, and bloom where you're planted, and do your best. So there's a parable from the book of Matthew that talks about different workers at a vineyard that started work at different times, but they all got paid the same at the end of the day. And one interpretation of this parable is that if you accepted Jesus early in your life, you shouldn't be jealous about people who accept Jesus on their deathbed when you both go to the same place in heaven. And another interpretation of that is that, life isn't fair, and you do the best you can with what you've got, and you shouldn't worry too much if someone is working less than you and getting paid the same or getting paid more. So I've always tried to bring that positive attitude. I think the military has given me a lot of opportunities to test myself, to measure my character when I've been put into situations where I'm maybe working harder than other people and other people are making more than me, and I try to still do the best I can and have a positive attitude. And other areas where maybe on a deployment, you're put into a no-win situation like the Kobayashi Maru, where no matter how hard you work, you're going to come in and you're going to be taking face punches every day, and you're probably going to fail 50% of the time. And at that moment, you'll realize, how resilient you are and what is the true depth of your character. And I don't know if everyone gets that opportunity, but I've definitely gotten that opportunity in the military, and I really appreciate it. So again, I appreciate everything that everyone has done to support me here, and I appreciate, again, you guys coming out here today, and for the folks that cared enough to dial in. It means a lot to me and to my wife, America, and so thank you all. With that, I think we'll close it out and go ahead and try some of the Latin cuisine that America put together. And thanks for everyone for tuning in here.
All right, so everybody come on up. Please shake his hand before you eat. Yeah, you gotta come up here, sweetie.
You're gonna say hi to the guys.
You gotta come up here so next to you. You get to shake everybody's hand too, because they're congratulating you as well. All right, so let's take pictures.
Okay, thank you.
All right, ready, yes. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
All right, guys, line up.
All right, come on around, get the food.
You can end it. You can end it.